Good evening, students. Welcome to Econ session. And last class, we discussed about the format of accounting cash flow statement. And today we will be starting with the theory practical session, and the theory is over. So we'll start with a one marker question first, 1, 3, then 6. You can see that there are two MCQ questions I'm discussing. After that, two small questions on from investing and financing. Then after that, there will be a full-fledged question. So let's see that. Here is the question: from the following particulars, what will be the amount of provision for tax made during the year? So as we discussed here, you can see that here you can see that informations of three informations are given. That is tax as on 31st March 2011. Then after that, it is given that 31st March 2012. Then the company paid tax rupees 45,000 during the year 2011-12. So whenever three informations are given, as I discussed yesterday, we have to prepare the tax account. So you have to find out from the following particulars what will be the amount of provision for tax made during the year. So you can prepare the account. So here we make a small account on provision for tax. While we are preparing while we are preparing cash flow statement, it will be always a working note. So it is not necessary that you have to make a proper format. So let's draw the format here. So provision for tax is a liability. Liabilities are always having the credit balance. So here it is given 31st March 2011. That is the opening balance. And here it will be credit balance, because provision for taxation is a liability. Whenever liability is increased, that will be credited. So liability will increase. Whenever liability is decreased, that will be debited. So here you will write by balance brought down. That is 50,000, because that is the opening balance. Then you will be writing the closing balance. That is 31st March 2012. So you will write to balance brought down. So this is for one marker question we are solving. So you have to do it very fast. If possible, you can do mental arithmetic. No need to prepare the account also. Here I'm explaining how to prepare the account. Now the company paid tax. Whenever the tax is paid, that means your tax will be reduced. So you will be showing it on the debit side to bank, because the journal entry will be provision for tax. From that, you will subtract the payment. Credit what goes out, cash goes out. So you will write to bank, that is 45,000. Now you have to balance both the side. If you balance it here, it is totaling, we will do 85,000. Here also 85,000. Then the difference will be 35,000. That will be the provision for tax, and the provision for tax will be always you have to show in the by statement of profit and loss, or you can write simply SPL. That means statement of profit and loss, 35,000. This 35,000 will be shown as a provision for tax made during the year, because whatever the provision we made during the year will be debited to statement of profit and loss. So the amount is 35,000. So the answer is B. So this much you have to do within 2 minutes, because to solve one marker question, the time limit is 2 minutes. Coming into the next question. Gain on sale of tangible non-current asset is, it is given as on operating activity. The option is here. The gain on sale of tangible non-current asset. Tangible non-current asset means we can take tangible. It will be visible. So we can take plant and machine. We sold a plant and machine and we got the gain. Then it will be considered as which activity? Operating, investing, financing, cash and cash equivalent. So sale on asset. Sale on asset will be always investing activity, but the gain will be considered as an operating activity because already gain is debited to profit and loss. But here we will consider it as purely an investing activity because gain we are getting from the sale of fixed asset. Now here it is the third question. That is again for 1 marker question. You can see find out the cash flow from financing activity. The answer is given as A, B, C, D. So this is a comparatively very long question, but we can take maximum 2 minutes. So we should try to complete within 2 minutes. How to do? You can see that Aditya Sunrise Limited provides you the following information. The 10% bank loan. 31st March 2022, it was 1 lakh. 23, it is nil. That means we repaid the bank loan. Let's see the additional information. Equity share capital raised during the year, that is 3 lakh. So raised means there is an inflow. So definitely we will write cash flow from financing activity. Here I am explaining, but for MCQ, nothing to solve. Just you have to see that issue from the share capital. So proceeds from issue of share capital. Proceeds from issue of shares. That is how much? 3 lakh. We issued the shares and we got. That is inflow. 10% bank loan was repaid. When it is paid? On 1/4/2022. That means from the very beginning of the financial year. So you will write repayment of bank loan. That is bank loan. How much? That is 1 lakh is our bank loan amount. So that you will subtract. So you put in the bracket. But that is an outflow. That is the reason. Dividend received. Dividend received will not be considered in the financing activity because dividend will be received on investing activity. So we will skip this item. Next into dividend proposed for the year 2021-22 was 50,000. But only 20,000 was approved by shareholders. Company planned to pay 50,000. But in the AGM, the approval was only for 20,000. So the proposed dividend paid during the year. That means 2021-22, this is of last year. Our financial year is 23. So proposed dividend for the previous year we paid during the year is only 20,000. That also we will subtract. From the 3 lakh, you have to subtract 1,20,000. So the answer will be 1,80,000 inflow. So the cash flow from the financing activity, the answer will be 1,80,000. We have to ignore this 50,000 because in the AGM only 20,000 is approved. I hope you are clear with this. Now, moving into the next. Here you can see a small question. During the year, a machine costing. Here you can see machinery is given. After that, accumulated depreciation in the beginning and at the end is given. Then there is some adjustment. During the year, a machine costing rupees 25,000 with accumulated depreciation rupees 15,000 was sold for rupees 13,000. The machine, its cost price was 25,000. Accumulated depreciation. On this, they charged a depreciation of 15,000. If you subtract the depreciation, this is the cost price. You subtract depreciation, then you all know that we get the book value of the machine. Book value of the machine will be 10,000. This machine, they sold for rupees 13,000. That means the selling price is more. So there is a profit of how many rupees? That is 3,000 is the profit. This 3,000 will be considered as our profit because book value, the price of the machine after subtracting depreciation 10,000. Sales price is more than book value, more than the book value. So there will be a profit of 3,000. The question is that calculate cash flow from investing activities on the basis of the above information. In this case, you need to prepare the depreciation, accumulated depreciation account and machine account. So machine account is already made by me and accumulated depreciation. If you want, you can prepare that also. But if for a 3-marker question, it is not necessary. You have to draw the accumulated depreciation account also. Let's make that also for a practice. So here I will be preparing accumulated depreciation account. Accumulated depreciation is again a provision. Whenever there is a decrease, it will be debited. Whenever there is an increase, that will be credited. Now, machine. Machine is an asset account. Whenever there is a decrease, that will be credited, and an asset is increasing means always it will be debited. So let's see that on first 2016 and 17. So the current year will be always 2017 will be taken as our current year. Now let's start. Machinery as on April 1, 2016. The balance is 50,000. So that is the opening balance. Machines are an asset. Assets are always having opening balance. So we will write it as to balance. To balance, you can write full to balance brought down because this is the opening balance. So it will be always written as brought down. The amount is 50,000. In the same way, next line it is given the closing balance. So while we write closing balance, it is to be shown on the credit side. Credit side may, after leaving 2 to 3 lines, you will write, because closing balance, there may be more items to enter. So you will write by balance carry down for the current year. That is why it is carried down for next year. So you will write C bar D. That is carried down. Accumulated depreciation is given opening balance. You can see 25,000. How will you write that? Accumulated depreciation is an liability. Liabilities are always having credit balance. So here you will write by balance brought down amount, we can say 25,000. And there is closing balance also given. The same way you leave 2 to 3 lines on the debit side. And this will be always to balance carry down. That the amount is 15,000, you can see in the question. Accumulated depreciation is a provision for depreciation. All the provisions are liability. Liabilities are always having credit balance. That is why we started with a credit balance side. But assets are always having debit balance. So we started machinery account with a debit side. The balance brought down. And here the closing balance is 15,000. I hope whatever the information given, you are able to understand. Now we are moving into the additional information. Additional information always will be, there will be either sales or purchase. Here in this question, it is given that a machine costing 25,000. They sold with an accumulated depreciation. So once the machine is sold, we have to, our depreciation will reduce. Whenever there is a depreciation is reduced, we have to show it on the debit side. So we will write it as 2. This we will be transferring to the machine account, because in the machine account, overall machine is there. So whatever the we sold, that much machine's depreciation should be transferred to machine account. So the journal entry is that machine account debit, accumulated depreciation account debit to machine account. So here we have to write to machine account. What is the amount? The depreciation charged is 15,000. So you are taking that 15,000. So this also we have done. Now we have to total this 30,000. No other item will be entered, only the machine which we sold. Because this is the, here it is given that total depreciation charged till date. And from that we are selling a machine which cost rupees 25,000 and its depreciation is 15,000. Now there is no need to maintain that depreciation. So we are transferring this to the machine account. So it will directly, it will have a diagonal. That means this will go to whatever the machine we are selling, that depreciation we have to charge in the machine account on the credit side. Because of the depreciation, our balance of the machine will be decreasing. That is the logic behind that. So here you are writing by accumulated depreciation. Till now, how much depreciation you charged for the machine which you sold. I hope you are clear with this. Now, after that, the machine sold for rupees 13,000. Whenever machine is sold, we are our machine account will be reduced. But while we sell the machine, what we get? The cash. So you can write either by cash or by bank. Normally, the purchase and sale of the machines or assets are in through check payment. So we write normally by bank. That is 13,000. And already we find out that in this sale, there is a profit. Profit of how much? Profit of 3,000. You can see here, profit of rupees 3,000. So because of profit, that is a benefit to the organization. So the machine account, you will write to statement of profit and loss account. That is your profit SPL. So we got a profit of 3,000 rupees. I hope you are clear with the adjustment. The total machine cost is 25,000. On that, the depreciation charge. Depreciation charge is 15,000. You subtracted that and you got the book value of 10,000 and the machine sold, that is selling price is 13,000. So 13,000 minus 10,000, that is 3,000 is the profit. So profit will be always debited to the machine account because I already told that if anything increase in the machine, that will be debited. Here the profit is an increase. Now what we will do? We have to balance. We have to balance the machine account. Let's see how to balance. Here we will write total. Again total. So total it is 78,000. 60 and 88,000. Here also it is 88,000. And the difference is 53 and 88,000. How much it will become? 3 plus 5, 8, 5 plus 3. So there is a purchase of the asset. Here in the bracket, you will write purchase. That means machine account debit to bank account. So machine account debit side is increased means there is a purchase. So debit side will be always increase. Here I have written that debit is increase and credit means decrease. So here the machine account, it is coming on the debit side. There is an increase. There is a purchase. Now the question is that calculate cash flow from investing activity. Let's see that cash flow from investing activity, make a format, only two, maximum 4 lines. Cash flow from calculation of cash flow from investing activities. You will write the enter. After that, you have to draw a small format, a small table because this is a 3-marker question. Out of 3-marker question, you will be getting only half mark for the accumulated depreciation and 1 mark for the machinery account and remaining 1.5 mark for the cash flow from investing activity. Okay. So here you will write purchase of machine. The purchase of machine is, here it is 35,000. That is 35,000. Whenever we purchase, there is an outflow. Now, one more thing will come. That is sale of the machine. Sale of the machine is sale of machine. That is 13,000. 13,000 is an inflow. While we purchase, there is an outflow. So there is a net outflow of 22,000. So here you can write cash used in investing activity. Used because there is an outflow. Now here each amount you will get half mark. That is why it is 1.5 mark. And after that, your machine account, you will get 1 mark, and for accumulated depreciation, half mark. Thus the total mark distribution. The students, I hope you are clear with this explanation. Now we are moving into a full-fledged question. So let's see that full-fledged question. This is a board exam question and this is for 6-marker. How to solve this 6-marker question? Let's see that. Whenever we discuss cash flow statement during your reading time, first you will read the question. How will you read the question? You will start from the adjustment. You have to read the first what is to be done. Here you have to prepare a cash flow statement. Yes, that is okay. Now moving into the additional information, you can see interest rupees 1,25,000 paid on debenture. Tax paid is also given. That is 50,000. A part of the machine costing rupees 1,25,000. Accumulated depreciation thereon 50,000 was sold for 45,000. So when this adjustment is given, the first adjustment, then only you will understand, yes, machine sold. So it is compulsory to prepare machine account and accumulated depreciation account also. Because we move into the notes to account, you can see short-term provision and provision for tax. Provision for tax, that there are 3 figures here in the notes to account too and in the adjustment also. Then again, you have to understand, you need to prepare the provision for taxation account also. And below it is given plant and machine. So definitely machine account and accumulated depreciation account. So 3 account you will be preparing: accumulated depreciation account, provision for depreciation account, and machine account. Then moving into the question, you can see there is share capital reserves and surplus. Then comes long-term borrowing, short-term borrowing, then trade payables, short-term provisions. There are so many items. So first, let's start with the additional information. So let's draw the account. After drawing the account, we will be proceeding into the full-fledged question. But here you can start writing. You will always start that capital letter, Roman letter 1, that is cash flow from operating activities. This compulsory you have to write cash flow from operating activities. Then almost on your CBSE accountancy answer sheet, you will have to leave almost 10 to 12 lines for cash flow from operating activity. Here also on an approximate I am leaving. So then after 12 line, you will write the second one, that is cash flow from investing activity. Cash flow from investing activities. Always write full while you solve in the board examination. Again, here you need to skip only 3 to 4 lines. Then you continue with the number 3, that is cash flow from financing activity. These are the headings we are writing in the beginning, from financing activities. After that, here also you will be leaving 3 to 4 lines. Then you will write net, we don't know now, increase or decrease. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Because after adding all the 3 activities, you will be getting an increase in or decrease in the cash and cash equivalent from operating, investing and financing activities. With that, you will add opening balance of cash and cash equivalent, cash and cash equivalent, I am writing CE. If you add that, you will be getting closing balance of cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent. Now, let's move into the adjustment. Adjustment, I already told you that first you will be preparing provision for tax account. Provision for tax. You have to make a format very fast, even though it is not necessary that you have to draw in a very proper format. Yes, just use the scale and pencil and draw it very fast, the 4 columns. Machine account. I will see that. Machine account, machinery account, plant and machinery account, plant and machinery account. After that, we have to prepare accumulated depreciation account. Accumulated depreciation account. So first, let us make the provision for taxation account. Just now we made that. So you know that the opening balance is given, opening balance of 2017 and closing balance will be 18. Provision for taxation is a liability. Whenever liability means there will be debit. Debit means always there is an increase or decrease. There is a decrease. Credit means liability will increase. So the opening balance you will write by balance brought down. And closing balance you will write to balance carry down. Opening balance is given in the 2017 as 75,000. So let's write that 75,000. And you can see that closing balance is of 1,50,000. So we will write that as closing balance 1,50,000. Now moving into the adjustment number 2, that is B, tax paid during the year, that is 50,000. Tax paid, the journal entry is that provision for tax. Whenever we pay the tax, it is reduced. So you are writing to bank. The amount is 50,000. Now what will you do? You will balance the provision for taxation account. 1,50,000 plus 50,000 is 2 lakh rupees. Now you have to balance it again. Once you balance it, you are getting 75,000. Towards that, you will write by SPL. SPL means by statement of profit and loss. By statement of profit and loss means this amount you are debited into profit and loss account. So this will be your provision for tax for the current year. So this amount, what will you do? Before you find out net profit before tax, and yesterday I taught you that how to get the small working note to get the net profit before tax and extraordinary item. This amount will be added. Which amount? This 75,000 amount that you will be adding. And this bank, that means you already paid this much tax. This you will subtract from the cash generated from operating activity. So In short, whatever is given in the notes to account, this opening balance and closing balance will be ignored when three items are given in the question, three items of tax. So 50,000 and 75,000 we. Just now we will enter the same here. So here we made a small note. We can make net profit before tax and this is your working note. Before tax and extraordinary item, you have to find out tax and extraordinary item. We need to find out that. So you can see that profit during the year. It is not given. But to know that, you will always take this amount. Here there is no enough space. So I'll take this into bottom of the cash flow statement. So here you can write the working note. Working note number 1, net profit before tax and extraordinary item. Tax and extraordinary item. How will you find out profit during the year? How will you find out the profit during the year? So definitely it is, nothing is mentioned in the notes to account. So notes to account में only two items are given, provision for tax and intangible asset. So where will you be going? You will have to go to the balance sheet and you will see that reserves and surplus. Opening balance is 10 lakh and the closing balance is 12 lakh 50,000. So the difference amount is 2 lakh 50,000. That is 12 lakh 50,000 minus 10 lakh. If you want, you can write that in the bracket. That is 10 lakh. So you get profit during the year is 2 lakh 50,000. Along with that, you will add provision for tax. Provision for tax for current year. Current year means already I explained to you whatever we are debited into SPL. So the amount is 75,000. You will be adding that. So along with that, we have done. And after preparing this provision for taxation, we came to know that the tax paid is 50,000. So this tax paid where you will have to show. You have to show in the cash from operating cash flow from operating activity. You have to subtract as last item. That we will do there only. Just above the investing activity, you will be writing. So right now we are not writing that. Let's wait for the end of the operating activity. So we have done for provision for taxation. Whatever we have done, you can just put a cross mark on that. That means you have done that. Now we are going to prepare plant and machine account. Plant and machine account opening balance is 25,000, 25 lakhs and closing balance is 44 lakhs. So you will be writing to balance brought down. That is opening balance. After leaving 2, 3, 4 lines on the credit side, you will write by balance carry down. So let's see again the question. Question, the opening balance is 25 lakh and the closing balance is 45 lakh. Opening is 25 lakhs and the closing is 44 lakhs rupees. So this we have done. Now below that one more item is given, that is accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation, I told you that the opening balance, it is a liability. So the opening balance will be always showing on the credit side and the closing balance on the debit side. Just the reverse of the machine account. Opening balance is 2,50,000 and the closing balance is 4 lakh rupees. So here in the opening balance, you will write by balance brought down because accumulated depreciation is a provision. Provision means credit will be always more and debit will be always there is a decrease. Then here on the debit side, you will write the closing balance to balance carry down. Closing balance is always balance carry down, 4 lakh rupees. Now see the children, we have completed the notes to account session and this total we never consider. This we will not consider in this question because we are preparing the account. So no need to take that amount. Coming back to the first adjustment. Let's see that first adjustment. First adjustment, you can see that a part of the machine costing rupees 1,25,000. Its accumulated depreciation thereon being was 50,000, was sold for 45,000. Let's see that machine costing. You have to see that whether the book value of the machine is given or cost price. Here the cost price is given. Sometimes here book value will also give. That time we will not subtract the depreciation. Here the cost price is given 1,25,000. So you subtract depreciation Once you subtract the depreciation, you can see that you will subtract the depreciation. Subtract the depreciation. So the depreciation amount is given in the question, that is 50,000. Then you get the book value as 75,000. And this 75,000 rupees per machine we are selling for 45,000 rupees. So we sold it for 45,000. Our book value is more than the sales price. So sales price less. So there is a loss. Loss of how many rupees? 30,000 rupees. I hope you are clear with this portion, loss. This you have to do in this way only. Machine costing is 1,25,000. Till date, accumulated depreciation means total depreciation. Till date, the depreciation is 50,000. So 1,25,000 minus 50,000. The book value is 75,000. And from that book value, subtract the sales price. You are getting the, because sales price is lower than the book value. So we sold at a loss of rupees 30,000. Now, how to present all this? A part of the machine costing 1,25,000, its accumulated depreciation was 50,000. So accumulated depreciation means that is included in this 2,50,000. Now we have to remove that and we will be transferring this into plant and machine account. So to plant and machine account, the accumulated depreciation for the machine is 50,000. So you will write here 50,000. Now you can balance, nothing is there. So 90,000 for, so that is 4,50,000. So total is 4,50,000. And on the credit side, you are getting a balance of 2 lakh rupees. That will be by SPL. This amount you are debited to statement of profit and loss. So this is the depreciation charged during the year. So this depreciation you will be showing in the cash flow from operating activity. First, you will write net profit before tax and extraordinary item. Extraordinary item. You write the heading that we will find out now. We did not complete our working note. After that, you will be writing a small heading, adjustment for non-cash and non-operating item. Adjustment for non-cash and non-operating item. In that, you will have to add, yesterday I taught you that you will be adding 4 items and you will be subtracting 4 items. Glid and grid. Here, grid means goodwill written off, loss on sale of fixed asset, I means interest paid, and D for depreciation. Here, grid, this will be added and grid will be subtracted. What is grid? Gain on sale of fixed asset, rent received, I for interest received, D for dividend received. So here right now we will write add. And when now itself you can write depreciation on machine. We already find it out, that is 2 lakh rupees. So you just write along with the working note. You will not wait to complete. Okay. Now, as we discussed, this amount we have to, this 50,000, we have to credit into machine account because it is written plant and machine. This always diagonally you have to present. So you will be writing by accumulated depreciation. The amount of accumulated depreciation is how much? 50,000. So you will write 50,000. The machine sold for how much? You will write by ban. Let's see once again the adjustment. The machine sold is for rupees 45,000 and there is a loss of 30,000. So you will be writing by ban 45,000 and by loss 30,000. Bank is 45,000. And by there is a loss. So already I told you that plant and machine is an asset account. Whenever there is an increase, it will be debited. Whenever there is a decrease, it will be credited. Loss means it is a decrease only. So we will write here, we will not write loss, we will write by SPL. SPL means statement of profit and loss. SPL is 30,000. In bracket, if you want, you can write loss. It's not required because you all know how to do this. Now, what is the next task? Next task, you will total this. Once you total it, you will be getting 44 plus, that is 75 plus 125. So 45 lakh 25,000. 45 lakh 25,000. That is the total. 45 lakh 25,000. So we will do that here also. On the debit side also, we will write the total. Now, from the 45 lakh 25,000, if you subtract 25 lakh, you will get 20 lakh 25,000. Our debit side is increased. Whenever there is an increase, that means we purchase the asset. Asset purchase means there is an outflow of, so in the bracket you can write purchase. Now let's discuss again how to treat these items in the cash flow statement. This bank, here you can see 45,000 bank. This is an investing activity because you sold. So this is investing में what to do plus inflow है ना sale करेगा तो. Now SPL, there is a loss. This will be in the operating activity. GLID, I already taught you. GLID means loss. In that GLID, L is for loss on sale of fixed asset. So this is to be added in the operating activity. Now again 20 lakh 25,000 purchase of the assets, that means purchase of the plant and machine. There is an outflow, so this will be subtracted from the investing activity. So I plus I minus O plus, only three items we are getting. And but in accumulated depreciation, we are getting only one item, that is what? That is operating plus. Already we added that. Now let's enter all this. So I will be entering first this 30,000. 30,000 is add gain on loss on sale of machine. Loss on sale of machine. Sale of machine. That is how much? That is of 30,000. We are adding. Yesterday I taught why it is added. Because of loss, your profit is reduced. Now we are moving into the bank. By bank 45,000 I plus. So I am going to investing activity. Here I will write that proceeds from the sale of a machine. Proceeds from sale of machine. Proceeds from sale of machine. From sale of machine. How much I got? How much I got? 45,000. That is an inflow. Now, purchase of machine. Payment for purchase of machine, or simply you can write purchase of machine. You purchased a machine for 20 lakh 25,000. That is definitely an outflow. So I hope this much is clear to you. So we have completed all the additional information. No, there is one more additional information. We have completed the notes to account, provision for tax we discussed. Now we are moving into the last adjustment, that is interest paid on debenture. Interest paid on debenture, normally we have to calculate, but here it is directly given. So what we will write? We will be interest paid on debenture is a financing activity. So first we have to add this, because I already taught you GLID. In that, I means interest paid on any debt. It can be debenture, it can be loan. So here I am writing interest paid on debenture. Interest paid on debenture is 1,25,000 rupees. So you will write proper Indian method of writing the numericals, 1,25,000. Meanwhile, this is related to interest paid on debenture. Debenture is from financing activity. So you have to show as a subtraction. I'm moving into financing activity. Here I will write interest paid on debenture. Interest paid on debenture. Because of that, our finance will be reduced, paid on debenture. So it is to be subtracted in the financing activity, minus 1,25,000. So we just come back to the notes to account. We discussed all the items. After that, we discussed the adjustment also, a part of the machine costing, number 2 tax paid, number 3 interest paid. And here we prepare the provision for tax, plant and machine account. After that, accumulated depreciation. Which item? Accumulated depreciation, whenever you prepare, only one item will be coming into our cash flow statement. And plant and machine, maximum you can get 3 or less than that. Maximum 3 items only. And never any item of financing activity. Either it will be investing or operating only. Then we are moving ahead. Here we have to enter one item, that is bank, the tax paid, that we will consider last only. Okay, now we have discussed all the items of the notes to account and all additional information. Now we have to focus purely on the balance sheet. Let's discuss one by one. Here reserves and surplus already we discussed. Here I have written that. See, you can see. Now there is no other adjustment because we have completed the notes to account also, and we have completed the adjustment also. Now nothing is pending. So I will add this directly After adding, I got 3,25,000 as net profit before this item I got here. So this I will be taking into where? I will be showing into operating activity. The first item, net profit before tax and extraordinary item, outer column, I will write 3,25,000. So this much work you have to complete, then only you can start from the balance sheet. So if you do the adjustment first, then notes to account, then the remaining rest of the part to go through or to refer the balance sheet, it will be very easy. Now let's discuss the first item because second already we discussed reserves and surplus. Now share capital. Share capital in the beginning it was 25 lakh and it is 35 lakh. So there is an increase of 10 lakh rupees. I hope you agree that. That is an inflow. So 10 lakh where we will be showing financing activity. Here you will write proceeds from the issue of shares. Proceeds from the issue of shares. Issue of shares. How much? 10 lakh. This is an inflow. So nothing to do that. Then we are moving ahead into the balance sheet. The third one, long-term borrowings. Already we have done the interest on debenture. It is written in the bracket 10% interest on debenture. Now, no need to calculate any interest on debenture. But we know that in the starting it is 3,50,000 and when there is 12,50,000, there is an increase of 9 lakh rupees. So this 9 lakh rupees means it is coming. There is an increase means inflow. Inflow means proceeds from the issue of debentures. We issued new debentures of rupees 9 lakh rupees. So you will write same proceeds from the issue of debentures. Proceeds from the issue of debentures. How much? 9 lakh rupees. Because starting it was 3 lakh rupees. Now it become 12 lakh 50,000. 3 lakh 50 increase into 12 lakh. So there is an inflow again. Now moving into the current liability. There you can see short-term borrowings bracket. It is given that bank overdraft. Definitely all the short-term borrowings are a part of the financing activities. So starting it was 75,000. In the closing it is 50,000. There is a decrease means outflow. Outflow means repayment of the bank overdraft. Okay. So you will write repayment of bank overdraft or decrease in bank overdraft. Both you can write. Here I am writing decrease in bank overdraft. How much? 25,000. That is an outflow. Decrease means always an outflow. Right? We have done this one. Then after that, what is? Let's discuss the remaining. Trade payables. Next item is trade payable. Starting it is 1,50,000. Ending it is 2,50,000. There is an increase in the current liability. Whenever there is an increase in the current liability, we know that it is to be adjusted in the working capital. So here I will leave two lines. After that, you see, after that I will write operating profit before working capital changes. Operating profit before working capital changes. I will get some answer. From that, I will have to adjust the current asset and current liability increase or decrease. Here I will write add what is to be added. Increase in the trade payable. Increase in the trade payable. Trade payable is increased. Whenever liability is increasing, liability कुछ खराब है, खराब अच्छा होता है. That means we have to add increase in the current liability. So the current liability's name is given. So what I will do? I will write the name of that. See, the name is given, never you will write current liability word. Here it is given trade payables. So T bar P, you can use the short form even in the examination also. Okay. Then comes short-term provision. Already note number 1 we discussed. Now we are moving ahead. That is fixed tangible asset. Note number 2 already we discussed. Now because that was in the fixed tangible asset, the plant and machine account, accumulated depreciation, all that we discussed. Okay. Now we are moving into intangible asset. Starting it was 5 lakh. End May it is 3,50,000. That means intangible asset bracket it is written goodwill. It means goodwill written off. Goodwill written off will be always shown in the cash flow from operating activity. So here I will write goodwill written off. Goodwill written off is how much? 5 lakh minus 3,50,000. That is 1,50,000. We have to add. That also we have done. Now moving ahead, inventories. Inventories means starting it is 5 lakh. Now it is 6,25,000. There is an increase in the inventory. Then you have to subtract. So you will write increase in the inventory. 5 lakh becomes 6,25,000. Increase in inventory. How much it is? 1,25,000 is increased. So you will subtract that. That also we have done. Now trade receivable. 7,50,000 become 12,50,000. Again, there is an increase. Whenever assets are increased, you will subtract. So again, you will write increase in trade receivable. Trade receivable is how much increase? 7,50,000 become 12,50,000. There is an increase of 5 lakh rupees. Now you can see that. Then cash and bank balance. The opening balance is given 1,50,000 and the closing balance is given 2,50,000, 25,000. So we will write it in the last opening balance. Opening balance you will enter in the last column. That is, I think, how much it is? 1,50,000 and closing balance is 2,25,000. You will write 1,50,000, draw a line and you are getting 2,25,000. Now, here you see, without solving anything, you will be able to understand that the net increase or decrease is how much? Because 2,25,000 minus 1,50,000, you will get 75,000. But let's see that whether we will get. Without solving this only, you can take these two. ये दो आप ले सकता है. Then you will be able to understand 2,25,000 में से 1,50,000 का minus करो, you will get 75,000 here. But right now we will not do that because we will solve it. Then we will find out that yes, we get the answer as per our solution. See that. So let's solve it our own. Then we will not write now. Without solving, we will not write. Okay. So now we have entered everything except one item, that is from the provision for tax, 50,000 we have to yet to enter. But let's see the totaling and all that. Now, children, all the item once again, you can, if you want, you can cross check it with a question. You will once again take very fast, quickly you have to do. Very quickly you will be doing that cross checking. Now let's see that what is the total. Total is how much? 2 lakh plus 1 lakh, that is 4 lakh, 4 lakh 80. That is, I think, 5 lakh 5,000. 5 lakh 5,000, I think. Let's recheck it again. 2 plus 2, 4, 475 plus 30, 5 lakh 5,000. And here it is given 3 lakh 25,000. So what is the operating profit before working capital changes? 8 lakh 30,000. If you add this, you will get 8 lakh 30,000. Now you will be taking the total of this into the outer side, outer column, that is 5 lakh minus 1 lakh, that is 4 lakh plus 1. So you are getting minus 5 lakh 25,000 in bracket, because these two are 5 lakh plus 1 lakh 25, 6 lakh 25 minus 1 lakh. So you will add this here. I need a little bit of space. So what I'm going to do, I will rearrange this little bit down. So anyway, now I'm not going to erase all this. Now I'm going to continue this. Okay. So 5 lakh 5,000 and subtract. So what is that? 8 lakh 30 minus 5 lakh 25. So you will be getting 3 lakh 5,000, right? 3 lakh 5,000 is the cash flow from cash generated from operating activity. Oh, I have to remove this because there is no space. Cash flow from operating activity. Little bit I will carry it down. Okay. So let me do that first. I will write here 45,000. Cash flow from investing activity. Because there is shortage of space. So I have to carry it down. I will write here 45,000 and 20 lakh 25,000. Okay. This is proceeds from sale of machine. And this is proceeds from purchase of machine. And here the heading is number 2, that is cash flow from investing activity. Right now I'm writing short form. Okay. Now the rest all I will erase because I need space. Now coming back to this, you will be writing, this is cash generated from operation. cash generated from operation or operating activity. Operation, okay. Now you will subtract minus tax paid. Already we find it out in our provision for tax. That is 50,000 rupees. You can see here, it is marked by me. So 50,000 rupees you will subtract. Then you are getting 3,05,000 minus 50,000. That is 2,55,000. That is the cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activities. That is 3,05,000 minus 50,000 is the tax amount paid. I hope this much is clear to you. So again, if you want, you can cross check that whether all the items are entered or not. If any items are not considered, you have to take that one also. Then here you can see that all the items we considered, short-term borrowings, we can, once again, you can cross-check if you want. Otherwise, you can directly continue with the answers. Now we are moving ahead. That is for the cash flow from investing activity. Total is, you will be getting 19,80,000. No. Subtraction negativities. So you will be taking us 45,000 and 20,25,000. Yes. So it will be coming 0, 0. Then it is coming 4, 4, it will become 80. Yes, it is 19,80,000 only, but it will be cash outflow. So what will you write? Cash used in investing activity. Then after that, you are moving ahead. That is with the cash flow from financing activity. The cash flow from financing activity is that interest paid on debenture and then proceeds from the issue of shares, proceeds from the issue of debentures, decrease in bank overdraft. Now we consider we have to take any item, there is no dividend, nothing is given. Interest we have taken. You can cross check once again. If you are not getting the answer, you will be moving again and you will have to find out why the answer is not tallying. That also you can do, okay? Short-term provisions we considered, everything. Now let's complete this. 9 lakh plus 10, 19 lakh. And after that 19 lakh minus 1,25,000 and 25,000. That is 1,50,000. So 19 lakh minus 1,50,000. That is 17,50,000. You will be getting as cash flow from financing activity. Cash flow from financing activity. I'm writing FA. Okay. That is financing activity. Now see the children. Let's see that what are the items here. We got the cash flow from operating as 2,55,000. Then here it is 17,50,000 as the financing activity. These two are the positive amount. Then after that 19,80,000 as our cash flow from financing activity. Now let's solve this. All the three you will be adding. 2,55,000 plus 17,50,000. First you will add all the positive figure. Then you will be getting 17,50,000. So here it is 7 plus 5, 2. Then 2,55,000. Then it is 17,50,000. You will be getting 5 plus 5, 10. Then 20,05,000. Now, from 20,05,000, you have to subtract 19,80,000. So, what is the answer you will be getting? You have to do that. That is 8 plus 2, 10. Then here it comes 9. So, you are getting 25,000. Now, we know that our answer should be 2,25,000. That is cash and cash inflow. Cash and cash equivalent is 2,25,000. So here 50,000 we are getting a shortage. Then you will have to search where we are not able to find out or why we are not getting this proper answer. So again you will have to cross check. Let's cross check it again. Always you have to do that. Okay. So net profit before tax and extraordinary item. You will cross check very fast. Your profit is 2,50,000. We have done that. 2,50,000 as your profit. Then provision for tax for the current year. That also we got provision for taxes 75,000. That is a mistake we have made because here it is 2 lakh and here it is also 2 lakh. Here the difference is 1 lakh. So you have to understand we made a additional mistake 1,25,000. So this I made because you should know how to rectify. Clear? So 1,25,000 plus 75,000 will be 2 lakh. So the provision for tax in the starting, you see here I have written it as how much in the working note 75,000. So you will do the correction. This in the examination, there is no time for trial and error, but you have to consider that. Then you will be writing there is a shortage was 50,000 rupees, 3,75,000. And this 3,75,000 you will be writing in the net profit before tax and extraordinary item. And we have increased how much? 50,000. So here also it will become 5,55,000. Then here it will become 8,80,000. I hope you are able to understand. From 8,85,000, if you subtract 5,25,000, you will be getting 3,55,000. Now from 3,55,000, if you subtract 50,000, you will get 3,05,000. This way you have to do the calculation very easy if you make any error. Because here purposefully I kept that only 2 lakh rupees. The last I want to tell you that if any error is made, how can you rectify? At a glance, you will go very fast and you will find out. Now, if you add everything, you will be getting here how much? You will be getting 75,000. Now, you can see that 75,000 plus 1,50,000, that is 2,25,000. If you make any error, ultimately, you will not get this answer. This answer is a positive answer. So, you will be writing here net increase in cash and cash equivalent. I hope you are clear with this long question. And if you make any error, how to rectify? You have to do it very fast. I hope you are clear with this error portion also, how to rectify. No need to be panicked. Very fast, you have to do all the calculations everywhere. So here, the purposefully I kept one item because to make you clear. But in examination, maybe it will take time. So it is very quickly you have to do. I hope you are clear with this. So children, please practice this type of questions from the board exam question paper. Minimum, you have to practice 15 to 20 full-fledged question to manage the time. So see you tomorrow and practice all the questions. Bye-bye. Take care.